Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello, my name is Loey, and I am in the most chipper mood of all time, and not just because I beat the story arc of Rune Factory 4 on my Nintendo Switch. It's actually very sad. Very sad indeed. I still have the after game story, but if you've played this game, let me know if I should marry Leon or Dillis down below. None of the other marriage candidates count. Anywho, today I am excited and very chipper because we are talking about something that I have not talked to you guys about in a really long time. And that is whatever happened to the TikTok account Time to Wait. Now, I didn't really make a follow-up video of the video that I made, what would that have been, back over the summer? There were still uploads, but they were sporadic, and I definitely was just finding them in intervals and couldn't quite figure out where the story was going. But with some of the most recent uploads, I definitely feel that this series has taken a turn for the truly bizarre. I also genuinely wanted to cover this because unfortunately a lot of people on TikTok just don't understand the point of an alternate reality game, of an ARG. And our poster on Time to Wait is still getting flooded with people calling her out basically for faking the whole thing. If we could continue to support her and leave her nice comments from this community, that would mean a lot to me because this is one of my favorite TikTok series and I don't want to see it like go away because the immersion is being broken by other people. So where we left off over the summer was with our poster, who is still nameless to the best of my knowledge, going to a set of coordinates left to her by Eli. Eli was a previous tenant of the house who had been going through a lot of the same things that our poster has been going through, and who was also caught living in her shed near the end of my last recap. In an update video in August, she explains that her phone completely died on her. All of her electronics are malfunctioning, seemingly at the fault of the videos from Eli.
My phone did the black screen of death again. Eli's videos are definitely causing my electronics to freak out. First it was my laptop, and then it was my last phone that I had. Not to mention all the other electronic problems that have been going on. And honestly, I can't even afford to be investigating this anymore. It's too much. I just want to feel safe. I don't know how. I'm home alone for the first time in a while. I finally got the kids over to their grandparents again, and the noises just don't stop. The migraines are getting worse. The noises feel louder. I don't even know.
In a following video that is all too familiar, we hear the sheds from inside of the house. Our poster notes that it's been a while since something like this has happened.
It's been so long since anything happened, and I've just been ignoring it at this point, but I think something's actually out there this time. It's open. What the f? Oh god. What the f? It got ripped down? What does that say? Netransis? Oh god, is this? I think this was from the seal. They said not to do 4. They said not to do 4. Oh my god. Get on the door.
Alarmingly, the ceiling of the shed has been torn down, and there's a phrase written in a different language, perhaps Latin, since we've seen that pop up a couple of times during this series. I wanted to note here that there were 4 big thrashing sounds from inside of the shed, and she got very freaked out over the fact that it was the number 4, that the number 4 was bad, that they said to not screw with anything that was the number 4. I don't think that we've ever touched on that before, but when she runs to the door, it is locked. And as she turns around, the door to the backyard slams shut on its own. In another video, as she's walking her little dog Annie, which I have such a connection to because I too have a little dog named Annie who looks much like her dog. I don't know if her dog is also a schnauzer. She kind of looks like one. But anyway, as she's walking her dog through the backyard, the dog is just crying and crying and crying, and I won't play it here just because it made my heart hurt. You can of course go see the original video, but basically her dog is crying as they're walking through the yard, and as our poster approaches the shed, the dog seems very anxious, very freaked out, and really wants to go back inside. Keeps sitting on like the deck area, on the brick, will not go near the shed, does not want to be near it. A few weeks later, she posts an update video. So she's still struggling with whatever it is that's haunting her, and the shed seemingly changes every time that she opens it.
Long time no talk. I wanted to update if for no other reason than to document this somewhere. My tactic as of late has been purely problem avoidance. I thought it was anxiety, but I'm feeling things I can't explain. Like the remnants of someone else's emotions. The most I do now is record noises from inside my house. And I can show you guys what I've filmed from inside, but I haven't gone outside at all because it mostly happens at night and I'm not doing that anymore. It changes every time I open it. If there's monsters under my bed, then come and get me.
She also posts another video with the random occurrences of the week, including a metal scratching sound from outside of her window and the shed door opening and slamming shut on its own. She says that she's been forgetting things again, and part of her reason for wanting to film these videos is that she wants to help herself remember what's going on. Her memory has been getting progressively worse as this TikTok series goes on.
I've been watching all my videos over and over again because someone pointed out to me that I could be misremembering a lot more than I think I am. So I'm thinking that although I don't want to keep investigating really anything, I feel like I should keep recording. Maybe, no, maybe I can help myself remember. I've been calling the city for months and they finally put a gate up in the back alley. I blocked Eli. I blocked Daniel. I think he's sketchy as fuck too. I don't know.
In this same video, she explains that the city finally put up a fence around the alley in her backyard so she can be a bit safer, and also that she's blocked both Eli and Daniel, who was another tenant of the house. Now, the video following this is super startling and actually is what kind of grabbed me back into the series.
This doesn't look broken anymore. The side of the shed seems like it's changing too. I don't even know what that frame is. I didn't put that there. The vines that you might have seen from my previous videos are just dying. And I do live in Arizona. It is really hot, but they've been here longer than I have been and surpassed more summers than me. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I also didn't use any weed spray. I just cut the weeds and nothing has grown back. It's been months now since I cut these down. It's a little hard to see, but somebody's been putting things in here. I don't think that these leaves and branches came into this fire pit without help. I was about to put it away, but I just noticed there's some paper burnt in here. I can't. That actually just reminded me that there's this other paper.
So there are clearly things moving around in the backyard. We'll get back to the pieces of paper that she found at the end of the video here in a moment. If we go back to the clip at the beginning, you can clearly see a figure crouching next to the shed beside that wooden beam thing. Every time I've seen this, it's really freaked me out. And actually in her following video where she shows this same side of the shed again, you can't find this figure anymore. So in the second video where she shows the shed again and I can't find the crouching person, she's also going back through the shed and back through the briefcase that she initially found.
To keep the letters, so I'm gonna find out if there's anything that I might be missing. It does look quite different in the daytime. Like, I don't think I saw those before. An unknown number texted me coordinates. It's not that far from my house, but I don't know if I'm gonna go.
So an unknown number has been sending her coordinates, but we'll get back to that later. Speaking of things I said I would circle back around on, the pieces of paper that she found seemingly were just scribbles, by the way, when she was looking around in her backyard the last video. There really seemed to be no significance to them, and she never really reapproached them. When we see the contents that she has found in the following video, we see that the evil eye pendant has resurfaced. She thought it had been lost, but it is found in a small box. And there's also a bunch of letters and postage.
First of all, this one here had that inside of it, which I thought was lost, but there it is. And this one just has all of the different posted mail sent to Mildred in the hospital. But one I feel like kind of stands out. Do you see it? Yeah, that one. It's not in cursive, and it's also dated in May. That looks like it's the latest date that I see.
That letter at the very end reads, "We'll be expecting you both. W.S." Now, that was the letter that wasn't actually postmarked, with no return sender, anything like that. So who is W.S.? And how did they send that to her? Her, of course, being Mildred. So in this video, she shows the text messages that she got from the unknown number. And they read 1126 15 whatever. It's just coordinates. Eli, I blocked you for a reason. Please stop contacting me. Not Ezekiel. Who is Ezekiel? What am I supposed to be looking for? Last time it was just your trees and your string art, Eli. Not Ezekiel. Who is this? We see. I don't get it. I Googled it. I know it's you, Eli. It's right by the house. Hardly a coincidence. Not Ezekiel. Do you mean Eli? And then they write something here in Latin. And then she replies, I'm not going. Are you serious? It's a Google number. I'm not scared of you. But it was never delivered. The end of this video shows her really quickly walking down a street, and I thought perhaps she'd be going to the coordinates. But in her following video, she is walking her small dog, Annie, again. And if I thought she was going to the coordinates this time, her dog seemingly put a firm stop to it.
Annie.
So the dog stops cold and will not let her progress any further. And I'm just here to say, believe the freaking dog, man. Dogs never lie. Then she hears something from outside of the home, and while investigating, seems to see another strange figure standing outside.
So that humming is my fridge, but that creaking noise is that noise I was talking about. My nerves are so shot. I'm so scared of bugs. My water's on. Where's the flashlight? Oh my god.
To break away from the story here, in the following video, which I'm not going to show, she talks about her struggle with depression, anxiety, and PTSD, and it talks about how people commenting for her to just stop posting, you know, that she is always going to pick herself back up and keep doing what she has to do. But that on this day, it was just the day where she couldn't get out of bed. And I just want to say, story or not, that is such a relatable thing, and that I really resonate with not being able to get out of bed on all days because of my own struggles with anxiety, depression. My own trauma keeps me inside of my house a lot of days. And I just wanted to say that I think that it's like really brave to open up about struggles like that, and it's something we could all use a lot more, just being open and honest about our mental health. So I hope she's okay. I really could relate to that, and I'm gonna dive back into the story now. To return back to the story, the next TikTok and the following are just full of information, so I'm gonna let them speak for themselves.
I have no idea where to begin with all the information I was given this week, so I'm going to talk fast and we're going to get into it. So basically, I was contacted by a friend of the family of Mildred Windsor's in Ohio. So thank you all for blowing this up and helping me figure out what's going on. So Mildred lived with her family in Ohio, her parents and her siblings in a farmhouse. She was a teacher and she never went to church until the end of her life. That's when she started going, about 2 months before she died. Mildred had a mental breakdown and was sent to the hospital. While she was in the hospital, her family farmhouse burnt down, and unfortunately most of her family passed away. This left her completely inconsolable, so the hospital decided to give her electroshock therapy, which is horrifying, but she ended up passing away from that as well. But before she did, she kept saying that she needed to protect herself and others from Ezekiel, which is exactly, it's kind of what Eli was saying, that he's not Ezekiel. And I completely believe them because they said they lived in Antwerp, they said their grandma's name is Nora, and they said their mom's name is Dolores. I didn't even get to get into all of it, but after some of the stuff I learned about Mildred through people who were close to her, and specifically the ramblings she had mentioned about Ezekiel, I wanted to cross-check some of that information with Eli. I know Eli's mental health and his physical health has been debilitating lately, but I really was not expecting his mother to tell me that he passed away. Literally last week. I don't know what to say about that. I don't feel comfortable disturbing his family at this time regarding any of this stuff, so all I really have left of that are just the recordings and his journals. So I'm headed to one of the locations with coordinates to find out more.
So that's a lot. Eli has passed away. So who was texting her from that unknown number? Mildred Windsor seems to also have been, when she was alive, referencing an Ezekiel, who this random number texting her also referenced. Who is Ezekiel? So after this, she decides to go and explore the coordinates that she is sent. And she finds various stick sculptures, very similar to the string art that had been in the woods back in my last recap, in the woods. She finds what seems to be an evil eye.
It kind of looks like the eye or a sun. I can't get it to focus. There it is. I remember everything up to that point, but after seeing the eye, my friend said I just wanted to leave and fell asleep in the car. I'll update soon.
So she doesn't remember anything that happened after this. She sees this evil eye and doesn't remember a thing. But in her following video, the extent of her memory loss becomes really, really clear.
How do you think we should get up there? That was the last video on my camera roll. I was there with my boyfriend Adam, but I don't think we're together anymore. He told me that after what I pulled, I should understand. We were supposed to stay for 3 nights, and we only stayed for 1. And he told me that after the first day, that I left him alone in the forest and ran away while he was chasing me, which I just think is completely absurd. And I think that video proves that I was there, and I thought that we weren't.
She is fully forgetting the things that she's doing, as though she's not in her right mind when she does them, as though she's someone else entirely, to the point where she didn't remember leaving her now ex-boyfriend alone in the woods by himself. And then this next video, which I very nearly skipped because I thought it was just another exploration video of the shed, but it is so much more. Bit of a jump scare warning for you guys who get scared easily. Like yours truly, I jumped out of my skin. Who is that woman? Why is she in the shed? And why is the evil eye pendant, which is shown at the end, now filled with orange, like it's a bloodshot eye or something? In the following video, she shows that despite running clear, her sink is filled with blood. That the water coming out while clear turns to blood when it hits the sink. deeply disturbing. Then she shows security camera footage that seemingly captures the very same woman that we saw in the shed.
I haven't slept at all. I've just been rewatching the security cam footage, and this is all I really found. At the time, I thought I saw a cat out there, but when I looked, there was nothing. But as soon as I look over it, it goes away. It's wearing my clothes.
Now, the next video seems to be from Eli, as best I can tell, and he is communicating and speaking with some unknown force.
What do I do now? What now? No, I did that. No, I did. I did it. I did it. So, no, I don't. It's not my name. It's not.
He keeps saying that he's done that already and that that's not his name. Now, the unknown number had referenced Ezekiel when our poster talked about Eli. So could this unseen force also be calling him Ezekiel? In her next post, she says that she is finally back at the house, insinuating that she has been away for a long time. There is a huge bruise on her ribcage as well as a huge bruise on her knee.
I woke up this morning with this on my chest, but it's not as bad as this one. I can barely walk. I haven't slept at all and I'm just so tired.
As the familiar shed sound at the end of the video, she doesn't even flinch. This is second nature to her now, and she is used to the strange happenings of this home. Now, another security camera footage shows someone on all fours crawling across her driveway. And the thing is, she's covered in these bruises on her knees, on her ribcage, everywhere. And she can't remember anything that's going on. So could it be her crawling around in her driveway in this video and she just doesn't remember? It could be so likely. In the next video, she talks about a dream that she has been having lately.
I keep having this dream where I'm lying in my bed and there's a priest looking over me. Looking more like that though. The priest is talking, but he's not talking to me. In the dream, of course. Basically, I'm trying to get the priest's attention when I notice that something is creeping out from under the bed. And it's this odd looking hand. Not so much like that, but close enough. So from the bed, I reach out to touch it. And as soon as our hands meet, the hand just immediately snatches itself away and goes back under the bed skirt. So from the bed, I basically ask, "Who are you?" And there's like a cacophony of sound, but it replies, "Maltese." And I really thought Maltese was its name until I just looked it up on Google, and apparently it means many.
Now, if we're to be taking this dream as the spirits communicating with her, the Maltese aspect would mean that it is not one singular entity, but a lot of different ones collected together, putting her through this torment. She explains why this disturbed her so much in her next video and talks about her experience with church.
So the reason that dream is so unsettling for me is not just because it's recurring, and it's not because of the hand, really. It's actually the priest for me and the way that they're not looking at me, which I know could be like a representation of how I feel about my own church right now, but I've been having problems going to my church. I've been feeling nauseous. I've been getting headaches when I come in. And literally last week, I threw up communion in front of the whole congregation. It was super embarrassing. And I know that could just be a reflection of how I feel about the way that I presented my situation to the church. And I don't know, but the fact that the priest was not looking at me during the entire dream, that just really sussed me out. And I think about it a lot. I think about it all during my day, and it comes back every night.
So she's been really nauseous at church, unable really to go. But in this video at one point, it looks like somebody is standing behind her, and then they aren't there in the later parts of the video. She debunks this in the following video as not being an object that was there because she has no hanging plants or anything of the like in her home in that space.
Yesterday, I had left a note in the shed with a pencil, some food, and some money, where I basically just said, like, hey, if anybody's living back here, like, just let me know, and like, you're not in trouble and everything like that. But I just went out here to check, and I don't know why, but my flash is not working, so I'm gonna just do it like this, if this works. It was a full piece of paper, and this is what is left. I can't get this there, sorry. Oh,
In another video, she is driving down the highway, and it turns out she was going to Flagship, I'm assuming Arizona. Now, for what, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if that was touched on and I missed it somehow, but she points out something to the viewers, and I can't see anything in the dark, but I will let you look for yourself.
oh my god, right there, right there, right there.
Now, I haven't been showing these videos, but she really severely burned her thumb the night that she was using the lighter. And I didn't show them just because it was updates of her burnt thumb and everything, but in this video, she explains more about just how bad that got, as well as introducing us to a new resident of the house.
I've felt super uncomfortable since my thumb got burnt. At one point it turned black and I had to stay in the hospital for a couple of days, and I'm really thankful that the kids were being watched over at that time. But so I wanted to kind of talk about this doll. So I originally found this doll in the shed, but every time I film it, I feel like it does something. I've seen it blink its eyes before, because it can, like, when you lay it down, it closes its eyes. But I've seen its eyes shift if I kind of maybe sometimes go this way. Oh, I gotta stay still, I'm shaking a little bit. But I don't know. What the What the
Now, in this video, I'm telling you, I thought I saw the doll's head shift ever so slightly. I could be wrong, I could be making it up, but it looked so much like the doll just moved its head a tiny bit. In the following video, we get a much clearer look at the doll.
It looks like it's smiling. So when the paintings fell off the wall, I saw that there's all these, like, straight up holes. These are huge. And, like, this is crazy. All behind these paintings. So I'm just wondering if all these are gonna be the same. What the f? So yeah, I thought the kids had been kind of moving this doll around and, like, in and out of the house, but I think it's doing it itself.
And in the following video, the doll that she banished outside seems to be calling to her.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. It stopped.
So it's the first time we've heard this baby crying since pretty much the beginning of the series. And this video was posted 3 days ago when I'm filming this. You guys are probably watching this a few days later, but that's what we have for now. Now that Eli is dead, I'm much more inclined to believe this is not just a person. This is a cult-like thing. There are clearly real physical people involved in this. The person who was in her shed is clearly a real person, was not meant to look like a ghost, at least I don't think so. I don't think it was supposed to be an entity. I think it is a human. And if I were to guess at this point, this is a mixture of both the spiritual world, this cult-like thing that is happening, as well as these cult members who are inflicting the real torture upon her. Let me know what you all think of this one down below, and if you still love Time to Wait, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you guys very much, and I will see you in my next video.